Coming up, 3 large panel van contenders grapple for the heavyweight title. Eve goes back in time to rediscover vintage vans, and Brian will give us his used van top tip.
If you're like me, every year you make the odd New Year's resolution, and for many of us that means losing some weight. But as we know, crash diets aren't always the best for you. Real results take a little longer. As seen by Iveco, who have taken over 4 years to design and develop their new flagship range, the Stralis. According to Iveco, Stralis has been designed for the millennium, taking into account the changing face of the commercial vehicle industry, aiming to reduce operating costs and improve fuel consumption. To achieve this, they have combined advanced Euro 3 engine and gearbox technology with the next generation cab interior and electronics. So here we are inside the cab. It's like a home from home. It's got all the creature comforts you'd expect. It's even got a double bunk. Once the top bunk's put away, you can tell there's plenty of room in here. Interior height is around about just over 6 foot, I think. There's plenty of storage space, although I am disappointed there's not a lockable glove box. Now, let's go and see how it drives. Here we're driving a 540, which is the top of the range flagship vehicle. This is going to be doing continental runs. This is going to be going from the UK down to maybe southern Spain, Italy, Turkey, and across those sort of areas. As far as driving impression is concerned, this is a very, very powerful engine. First of all, it's 540 horsepower. We're carrying with us at the moment 44 tonnes, and certainly you would not know it. If you compare this obviously with a 420 or certainly up to 450, where normally I've been maybe 14 to 15, there isn't a problem whatsoever. I mean, we're cruising at 15. There isn't, it's not an issue whatsoever. Here we are at around about 85 kph. We're in 15th gear, and I'm on the main green section, which means I'm around about 1350 RPM, which is great for fuel consumption and certainly shouldn't be a problem. Therefore, obviously with 540 horsepower, we've got to make sure that we're getting the most economical position as possible. As far as visibility is concerned, we've got a good driver's side here, mirror. Then we've got 3 mirrors on the right-hand side for the passengers. I say right-hand side, obviously this is a left-hand drive vehicle. Obviously they'll be switched around for ourselves. And so visibility is excellent. In front of us, we've got sun blinds, electric blinds as well. The windscreen is just about right. I wouldn't say it's over generous. If you look at something like the Magnum, again, which is a major competitor to the Renault Magnum, it's got a much larger windscreen. But certainly, as far as we need, it's adequate and certainly does the job, no problem whatsoever. Everything you need is in the steering wheel. We can control the telephone system, we can control whether, we can see what the oils are, we can see what the air pressures are, we can maintain and look at the diagnostics as well through what I'll call a driver information system. We can also do cruise control and fully control the radio and CD players that come with it as well. So everything you need as far as the drive's concerned is right in front of you. As far as instrumentation is concerned, we've got also things like, certainly for the driver, we've got electric windows, both on passenger and driver's side. We've got heated and electric window mirrors as well. And we've also got cruise control, we've got electric blinds, fridge, again, neat little system they've got on the fridge as well. And also we've got air conditioning. All the things you expect from a flagship vehicle, which is exactly what Stralis is. So, has Eurostar been eclipsed by Stralis? Certainly this is the best Iveco that I've ever driven. It's got state-of-the-art electronics in terms of both chassis and cab, but as every truck operator knows, it's reliability that's the key. Only time will tell whether Iveco can deliver.
Vauxhall Astra 1.7 diesel, the van everybody loves to hate. Thing to check on this, the same with any commercials, if it's been in an accident, check the straight lines between bonnet and wing, between door and wing, are they square? Piece of equipment you need to take with you with one of these is this, to check underneath. Check under wheel arches, check down under door sills. You will get a lot of corrosion on these, don't run your finger under there, you'll end up with more metal than you want. Check all round the back, especially up through the wheel arches here again, very susceptible to corrosion and rot along the back and the top line of the bumper. Make sure you give it a good check round the lights. Now for some reason Vauxhall's always fitted a tailgate, never a doors. Can be dangerous, can be useful. Ideal to keep you dry, which you might need if you get a puncture because you'd have to empty everything. Spare wheel lives inside, not such a clever idea. Load space is small and compact. Let's have a look in the cabin, see what we got. Again, it's a car-derived van. We have very comfortable seats. Again, nowhere to put documentation. And in this particular vehicle, we have a floor mat. Trouble is, when it gets wet, it absolutely reeks. There's no way of drying it out, no way of keeping it clean. Let's look under the bonnet. The 1.7 diesel engine, around town, this will only return you about 35 to the gallon. Now, it's not the best one there is, it's certainly not in its range. Also under here, you need to look for rust and corrosion under these wings here. The wings bolt on, but if that's rotted away, there's nothing for them to bolt onto. Also, you need to look for any rust and corrosion on the front of the bonnet, because as you can see, on the outside of the bonnet, they get peppered with stones and it will go wrong. Not a bad vehicle for £2,500. If that's got more than one owner on it, that's what the price would be. A one owner vehicle with full service history, you'd be looking at paying £3,000. Not any more than that. Not a bad vehicle for the price.
So tell me, what made you go into the trucking world then?
Because I used to always go with my dad.
Your dad was a trucker? Yeah. Did he drive loads of big trucks like this?
Yeah.
All his life?
Most of it when he come out of the army.
Yeah.
Basically, when I was in the army, I just took my driving licences, and after I came out, all I had left really was do driving, basically, because that's what I was really qualified for. So that's what got me into it in the first place.
Do you get a lot of hassle from the other truckers, the male truckers?
No.
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 They look after you?
Yeah, they look out for me.
They look out for you. Oh, that's nice. Why do you think that truckers have such a bad reputation?
Well, I can't understand that myself personally, because I don't know.
Because you're a trucker.
Well, not so much I'm a trucker, but I don't know where they get this bad reputation from. I mean, because I think media, you get an incident, say maybe an accident or something like that, media report it, they make such a big deal out of it, but if you looked at it at a wider picture, you don't get that many incidents from driving trucks anyway.
So here we are, the big one, the one that you've been waiting for, the fight to end all fights. We're going to have the 3.5 ton championship of vans. In the red corner, okay, it's burgundy. We have the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter, seen by many as the van champ. It's going to take a lot of vehicles to take the title away from this van. The Sprinter is available with either a 2.3 petrol engine or a choice between two common rail diesel engines. The maximum gross payload varies from 795 kilograms to 2,315. As well as being a panel van, Sprinter also offers around 30 different chassis cab combinations. So over in this corner, we have the British Bulldog, represented by the Ford Transit, seen by many as the people's choice. It's after regaining the title from the Mercedes Sprinter.
The Transit is available with a variety of different chassis combinations, ranging from short wheelbases to dropsiders. Engines include a 2.3 petrol and a 2.4 turbo diesel, with powers ranging from 75 to 120 brake horsepower. Load volumes range from 6.1 to 14.3 cubic metres.
And finally, in this corner, we have the Italian stallion, the Fiat Ducato. Certainly an underdog for the title, but let's get on with the fight. Seconds out, round one.
On offer from Ducato is a load volume of between 7.5 and 12 cubic metres. There are two different engines available, a 1.9 and a 2.8 diesel, which can be specified with or without a turbocharger. The maximum gross payload is between 1,000 and 1,600 kilograms.
Badge engineering is as common in vans as it is in cars. For instance, in the car world, you have the Peugeot 806, you have the Fiat Ulysses and the Citroën Synergy. Exactly the same happens in the van world. For instance, this vehicle, the Fiat Ducato, is also the same body shell as we get with the Citroën Relay and also the Peugeot Boxer. The same goes for Mercedes with the Sprinter. This vehicle started out exactly the same body shell as a Volkswagen LT. But the same can't be said of Transit. It's only built by Ford. The Fiat Ducato has a wide range, including 3 wheelbases and 3 roof heights, including this 2.8 JTD Maxi. What can I say about this vehicle? In one way, it's a curse of the van industry, because everyone outside the trade seems to call a van a Transit. This vehicle we've got is the Transit 350. It's available in 3 roof heights. This is the highest and this is the longest wheelbase. I'm sure if Transit hadn't have been around so long, then Sprinter would have been the generic term for a van. And that's probably the biggest compliment you can pay a Sprinter. This vehicle is available in 3 wheelbases, 2 roof heights, and in fact this vehicle that we've actually got is the 311 CDI high roof and long wheelbase.
Coming up, will the Sprinter, Ducato or Transit be knocked out in the final round of our heavyweight showdown? And what did Eve discover about vintage vans? Before the break, we were putting 3 of the largest panel vans on the market, the Mercedes Sprinter, Fiat Ducato and Ford's Transit, through their paces. It's now time to find out just which one of them will be crowned king.
So let's look at load space now. It's no good having the best engine in the world if you can't fit your grandfather's clock into the back, and vans are all about load space. First of all, let's look at the Fiat Ducato. First thing we notice, the doors might not just be right. You can actually open these up even further. Nice release mechanism there, right the way down to 270 degrees. Next thing we notice is you've got a step to help you into the load space, quite wide, but actually the step itself is quite narrow. I think they could have done a little bit better on this one. We continue through to the Transit. Ford Transit, similar sort of thing. If you can't get the door's in the right position now, you can push a yellow button. That takes it back to 180 degrees. Seems quite good. Good thing about this one, entrance into the load space, the step is quite wide. That's a nice thing to have. Narrower than we saw on the Fiat Ducato, but quite wide, and that's nice to get into. Load space looks and is slightly higher than we had on the Ducato. Last but not least, let's go along to the Sprinter. Similar mechanism, right the way through the doors, and go right the way through to 270 degrees. And again, we see the step into the load space, very wide and reasonably comfortable to get to. In fact, probably the best of all 3. And as you get up there, no problem whatsoever. This was always going to be a close run thing, and it certainly was. We had 3 exceptionally good vans. Third place, we've got to give it to the Fiat Ducato. It's a great vehicle, a lovely engine, 2.8 JTD engine, like the dashboard gear change, wonderful vehicle, and in fact was probably the surprise package of the 3 to me anyway, certainly. As we go along and we look at who's going to be the winner, it really is a clash of the titans. We've got Sprinter here, which with a 311 engine, 109 horsepower, common rail, is an excellent vehicle. It certainly is very, very popular and has to be one of the best vans to come out of Mercedes-Benz. There's no doubt about it. But if we were to look purely on people voting with feet, nearly 1 out of every 3 vans in the UK is Transit. And as we said, if this was a boxing match, it wouldn't be a knockout punch. I think on points, it was going to have to be the Ford Transit. But I think maybe one day there'll need to be a rematch.
Hello, Eve here, and look at this elegant 1930s one-man camper van. Well, I'm here in Yorkshire to meet the owner of this fantastic vehicle, so it's chocks away. Well, back to present day. I'm not really that old. I know I look rough, but I had a bad night. Okay. Well, with me is Steve. Now, he owns this gorgeous van. Now, Steve, when did you first get interested in vintage vans?
I've always grown up with an interest of old cars and things, and I think there's a lot of character to them.
Well, there is. I mean, it's a beautiful van. It really is. How long did it take you to build it? Because you did build the car, didn't you?
Yeah, in total about 2 years.
That's not very long.
They're actually a replica of...
Ah, so it's not vintage, it's a replica.
Yeah.
So you've used different parts of other cars.
Yeah.
So what parts have we used on here then?
Well, all mine is Ford Sierra. It's a 1.6 litre
so
Pinto
the engine, 1.6 Sierra engine.
You could very easily put a V6 engine in it. And
right, so it doesn't really matter.
It's not
right.
critical.
Okay, what's the chassis then?
The chassis is purpose made for them. It's a special proper ladder frame chassis design.
Right.
It'll outlast any car
really
being mass produced today, yeah.
Right. And also, you've converted it, haven't you, into a camper van?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
I go to a few other shows that's about.
Oh, right.
If you go for a weekend, it's
handy, isn't it?
It's handy.
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper, and it looks different as well.
The bodywork, what is it made of? What is this?
It's actually all. Rest of the body is fiberglass. The bonnet is a proper American pressing.
And I know you've worked very hard on the interior. I mean, it looked gorgeous when I was driving it. Would you let me have a look inside?
Yeah.
Let's go around the back and have a look then. Okay, well, we're here. Let's have a look in the back of the van. Oh, that's lovely. That really is, and very clean too, Steve. Very impressed. So what have you got in there then?
Well, the sink,
yeah,
a little cooker and plenty of cupboard space.
So basically you've got your own little kitchen in there.
Yeah.
Clever man. And I can't believe that you actually sleep in the back of that van.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I really can't believe that. You're lying, aren't you?
Oh, no, I can
How tall are you?
I'm 5'10" and I can lie flat out in it.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe it. I actually fit in, and I've got everything I need here, including the kitchen sink. So I'm going to spend the night here with Teddy. So from me, Eve Threlkeld and Teddykins, see you next time. Bye-bye.
Peugeot's 206 is arguably one of the best looking hatchbacks on the market, and the van version is just as stylish. Launched in 2000, the 206 is available with only one engine option, a 1.9 litre diesel, but with 71 brake horsepower on tap, the 206 is one of the most powerful hatchback derived vans, and with an average of around 40 miles to the gallon, the 206 is also pretty economical. It is thought by many, me included, that the high cube vans like Peugeot's partner would kill off the demand for hatchback-based vans, but this hasn't happened. Despite only offering 1.3 cubic metres, the 206 has been popular with drivers whose needs don't revolve around maximum load volume. Now, because the 206 has only been around for a short time, finding used models is a little bit more difficult than usual. At new, the 206 would set you back about £8,000 plus VAT. We've had a look round, and the best prices that we can find start at around about £6,000 second hand. Now, looks can only get you so far, but thankfully for the 206 it has a little bit more to offer. With good performance, car-based ergonomics and a decent load space, the 206 is a pretty good package. The only problem is trying to get hold of one.
Next week, Eve looks at the world of breakdown recovery, and Brian will give us his used van top tip.